She did a video on me. I think the first one in December of 25, called me a witch. I'm like, have we met? I don't know who she is. Beck, who credits the Sabbath for saving his life, made the mistake of presuming that Erica Kirk, who was pimping her husband's book about the Sabbath, cares about the Sabbath.
This woman's entire account is slandering Erica Kirk, accusing her of hating and even killing her own husband. This woman is a raging liberal. She hates Christians. She hated the Kirks. She hates Turning Point. She hates everything that Charlie Kirk stood for.
So instead of a full 24 straight, I'll break it apart only because my mom's sick and I need to be available because I'm her medical power of attorney, so I need to be available if something happens.
I commented on that. It was December. Perhaps I was trying to avoid the holiday blues, but I was like, do you want to connect? Do you want to talk about this? No response. None whatsoever. I'm like, have we met?
Let's just take a step back here.
She points out that I made a mistake on a video. I responded only because I needed to admit I made a mistake. She doubled down and called me a liar. I asked if she wanted to FaceTime. Did she want to be on my podcast? She could have a conversation about it.
As for this idea that you've invited me for a FaceTime call or to be on your podcast or to have an in-person discussion, I have never received that invite from you. I've never received anything with that invite because I absolutely would take you up on that. Gone on many people's podcasts who are on your side of the aisle.
Everything that he has built with this organization, right? And at the same time, they also built their home and their family. And that's also important. Like, both of these things can be equally important at the same time.
I can't spend half of the day doing one thing. I missed out half of that time with being with the kids. So like, you have to choose.
However many years.
This is Erica Kirk and I work, Zach.
Your heart has to be fully with the home.
This has nothing to do with Erica deciding to work. It has everything to do with who she pretended to say that she was and who she actually is in reality. Do you not understand that?
No, I don't think that you understand that she did not have any choice over this. Her husband was killed. She has lost the privilege to be a stay-at-home mom. It's stay-at-home or Turning Point completely just falls apart.
Will one day, if I'm not around, be vision-led?
Nazi mustache man propaganda. So,
do you think you can support somebody but disagree with certain things they talk about?
not that. No.
Okay,
That would be
that's
like,
your opinion.
would you ask me that if they were talking bad about people the skin color that you are? You're an African-American man. It's all a hoax. These people weren't put on boats and dragged across the ocean. Would you be like, oh, you can watch them and not support that piece of what they do? No, it's racism, it's wrong, and it's disgusting.
Absolutely, we're at the memorial. She's absolutely correct. I was absolutely wrong, and I hate to admit that because she's been nothing but an absolute bitch.
It's nice to see that you are admitting that you didn't know what you were talking about and that you made a mistake. But this whole like facade that you just like didn't know, you know exactly what you're doing.
My moral character is now being put into question.
I have sources within Turning Point.
She's giving a seriousness and a like take me seriously type of approach on a stage or any of that type of stuff. Like, her eyes are just going to dilate and it's going to be a lot more noticeable than someone with darker eyes. Candace Owens has had some really freaking weird facial expressions and some weird things that she's done on her show, okay? So
She's not well. There is an emotional attachment that is unhealthy. It's like she cannot separate her identity from whatever. Beck, who credits the Sabbath for saving his life, made the mistake of presuming that Erica Kirk, who was pimping her husband's book about the Sabbath, cares about the Sabbath.
This woman's entire account is slandering Erica Kirk, accusing her of hating and even killing her own husband. This woman is a raging liberal. She hates Christians. She hated the Kirks. She hates Turning Point. She hates everything that Charlie Kirk stood for. Yet here she is getting hundreds and thousands of views, making hundreds and thousands of dollars on this app, destroying a widow. And I'm going to show you guys just how deceptive the editing is that she's using to manipulate you. So first, we're going to watch how she edits and pieces it together.
Did you just nail this?
Let's zoom in on Glenn Beck.
Charlie was never legalistic about this. He wasn't. If you can't get a full 24 hours in, work it in through your week. Maybe you just sunset your device from 5 p.m. up until the next morning. I mean, back in the day, when we didn't start off with an hour, start off with 2, and then from there you grow.
That's not honoring the Sabbath. That's not what that is.
People around you will honor that, and you're setting your own boundary to where they even get to have a chance to have a Sabbath.
Leave her alone during those quiet times. Of course, nobody knows when it is, according to her. And then when she gets it down, they'll be able to have a Sabbath. She seems to be well aware she is preventing people from having a Sabbath.
Now let's watch the full clip in its completion without any of her editing.
I've got to do this. This is, and we get sloppy for a while, and then we would, bring it back, et cetera, et cetera. Did you guys go through a period? I mean, were you just like, did you just nail this? Or do you have periods where you were a little sloppy?
No.
And you're like, okay, got to correct it.
No, we had, and that's the creative part. Charlie was never legalistic about this. He wasn't. If you can't get a full 24 hours in, work it in through your week, maybe you just sunset your device from 5 p.m. up until the next morning. I mean, back in the day, when we didn't even have email, people knew they couldn't reach you. You did have a home line. I think we should bring back house phones, make house phones great again. But I just feel that, there's a way for you to be able to do this and not put pressure on yourself where you're letting yourself down. That's what I don't want to have happen, is where you let yourself down. So if you say, you know what, I will be doing this on Wednesday and I'll be doing it for these specific amount of hours, just be easy on yourself. Give yourself some grace. Start off with an hour, start off with 2, and then from there you grow and you become more and more intentional. And then the people around you will honor that, and you're setting your own boundary to where they even get to have a chance to have a Sabbath.
And this next clip is extra nefarious and evil because Erica is talking about how she cannot observe a full Sabbath right now because her mom is sick and dying from cancer, and she is her primary caregiver and power of attorney. So she has to be available at a moment's notice in case something changes with her mom or her mom's treatment. This witch decides she's going to manipulate this clip to make it look as though Erica doesn't care about the Sabbath and is just peddling her husband's book.
Are you keeping it? I'm trying my best. Only because my mom's sick. Are you keeping it? I'm trying my best. Is it helping? It is. I feel close to him. I break it apart though. So instead of a full 24 straight, I'll break it apart only because my mom's sick and I need to be available because I'm her medical power of attorney. So I need to be available if something happens. And so I make it what works for me. But that's what was so beautiful about that. Charlie wasn't legalistic about it. He's like, make it your own.
Observing the Sabbath is not just for Jews, it is also for Christians.
I'm going to show the whole clip so I can't be accused of taking it out of context.
Here's what I've learned the most in these past 3 months. Is that my husband, he deeply mattered on a multitude of levels, so much so that it proved even more once he was assassinated how much of a peacemaker he was.
Did anything stand out to you? I'll narrow it down a little bit.
So much so that it proved even more once he was assassinated.
Once he was assassinated? Most would use the word after he was assassinated. Once and after are both subordinating conjunctions, and I only know that because I Googled it. So if you're an English major, I need your help here. Once has more of a sense of urgency. We'll have dinner once you get here. We want to have dinner, but need you to get here. Or what the end goal is.
But I think it's important to note that this also happened.
Enemy has thrown a lot of curveballs at us today and this week and the past 3 months, and one of them is the fact that my entire speech has been wiped because my iPad won't even turn on. So that's a fun technical difficulty that we can figure out. So we're just gonna wing it. We're just gonna wing it. I was going to share with you stats. I was going to share with you all of the things that we have going on building. So I'm going to just start it off with this. So last year, Charlie, I'll rewind. AmFest is
Difference between using the word once instead of after. This is what comes up, and this is what.
So again, we're going to wing it.
So if you just Google what is the difference between using the word once instead of after, this is what comes up, and this is what I believe she looked at. You can often use once instead of after as a subordinating conjunction, meaning as soon as or at the time that. But once implies more immediacy or a condition being met for the next action, while after is more generally for any time following. This creator didn't take into account is that Erica is speaking in past tense, something that has already historically happened. When you're using once in order to describe a past event, it slightly changes the meaning. Yes, once can be used instead of after for a past event, and both are acceptable in this context. The primary difference is a nuance. Once implies that the second action happened very soon, that one event followed the other at emphasis on the promptness of after to describe a past tense event, and this is just showing the immediate immediacy in that timeline. She is saying that once my husband was assassinated, it immediately showed how much of a peacemaker he was, because there was an immediate breakdown. There was immediate infighting, division, etc., etc. Nothing that she said is alluding that she killed her husband. You guys are insane.
Sasha Riley's testimony came out on January 12th via Substack, because of course it did. Any true journalism anymore is going to be through independent media. One of the names he dropped was Andy Biggs, congressman from Arizona, who Erica Kirk just endorsed at her America Fuckfest event for governor. She just endorsed Andy Biggs for governor. One of the worst, and that bar was set high.
Well, you most definitely have a lot pooling in your brain, Christine, but it's not intelligence. Here's a screenshot from your own video. Had you taken 5 seconds, you would see that Andy Biggs literally says the Trump and Charlie Kirk endorsed candidate for Arizona governor, because Charlie Kirk endorsed Andy Biggs. Erica Kirk was only just following up on what her husband had already done himself.
We're going to break some news here today. We're really excited as we're broadcasting live in State 48 here in the beautiful state of Arizona. We are going to make our endorsement official for the governor's race. We have to win back the governor's mansion here in Arizona, and we are fully endorsing my friend, Andy Biggs. Andy, we are behind you 100%, and we're excited to make you the next governor of the state of Arizona.
But anything to use Erica's name, right? Because you got to get those clicks, got to make that money. The fact that anybody is still listening to these accounts like Christine, all of these just absolute disgusting individuals blows my mind. I can barely get a couple hundred views on my videos completely debunking with actual proof, actual receipts, actual evidence, something that none of these people ever bring forward, by the way. Meanwhile, these piece of crap people are getting hundreds and thousands, sometimes upwards in the millions of views. This world is so lost.
My God, $10 million from his Turning Point life insurance. I don't know how much his personal was, but he was good with money. I'm sure it was fine. All these various fundraising things set up, at least $20 million, millions of dollars, $20 given here and there by single moms.
He said just before that sentence, which is, "This is not how I expected my life to go," right? Then she talks about honoring her husband and his legacy, and that this is not just a job for her or a career, that it is about duty and respect and honor for her husband. Do you guys think that providing for children is only financial? Do you understand that there's a lot more involved in that than just the financial aspect? Leave it to the candy cult to make everything about money. Her life has drastically changed, and where she once had 2 people to do this whole raising kids thing, it's now down to just her and doing it solo. Notice how Erica herself never uses the term single mom. It's only the candy cult using the term single mom, because she doesn't identify as being a single mom, and she shouldn't. She was never in a situation to be a single mother. She was married to her husband. They together had children. He was publicly assassinated, and now she is a widow taking care of their children solely on her own. She now has to be both mother and father to her children, and that involves a lot of dynamics that is not just financial. A part of that provision is now keeping her children safe, something that has become significantly more complicated thanks to you psycho people.
After Charlie Kirk was assassinated, she bought a tracksuit.
That they work at Aloe, and they looked up Erica's account, and it appeared that she had spent over $1,000 buying Aloe clothing the day after Charlie.
How are you people not understanding that Erica did not come back to Arizona? She most assuredly stayed in Utah. We know this for a fact because we all watched it on TV. Do you forget that we watched this play out in real time? We know what the timeline was because we literally watched it happen. There is no reality where you can have your husband embalmed and then transferred from one state to another quickly. That process is just not going to happen quickly. There is a ton of paperwork involved. There is a ton of organizational process and systems that are involved in moving someone's body from one state to another state. That is not a simple process. It takes a couple of days at the minimum. And we actually have further confirmation and even more details from the story coming out this morning from Elizabeth McCoy herself, who actually went and purchased the clothing. The candy cult doesn't know what they're talking about, and they are completely recounting these events wrong. So Elizabeth McCoy actually posted this to her stories on Instagram this morning, and Mikey, her husband, actually reposted it. And she said, "Hey, the Aloe purchaser here. Yes, I went with my mom and bought clothes for Erica and many others because not one of us had anything on us besides the clothes that we had been in for the whole day at the hospital and had slept in. Aloe was right down the street, and Stacy generously paid for everything. Think twice and consider evaluating things through a little grace perhaps when you guys go down your next rabbit hole."
As more information keeps coming out about the fuck-uppery that is Erica Kirk, the blatant lies, I came across this clip again, and it infuriates me. Is that Tyler Boyer or that other fucking dweeb who always spills the beans because he's just an idiot? Guess who he's got his little camera pointed at? She couldn't give them this peace, this space. That's literally like 4 feet from his parents. What happened to honor thy father and thy mother?
So when I watched this video, I immediately, right out of the gate, I knew that this man right here most definitely was not Andrew Colvett or Tyler Boyer. It doesn't look like either of them. Not even close. And just so you can see all three, I've put them on the screen for you. You can clearly tell that this man with the phone is not Tyler or Andrew. Look at the hairline specifically. The hairline doesn't match either Andrew or Tyler. Not even close. But with the help of some friends of mine over on X, we figured out who the mysterious cell phone man is. It is in fact Justin Wells, the man who did the documentary The Art of the Surge on Donald Trump himself, which also explains why he was standing like 2 people down from the president. And just to further drive the point home and get just that extra little jab in because it's hilarious, when I was looking for some help over on X trying to figure out who this man with the cell phone was, Andrew Colvett himself liked my comment where I said that his hairline didn't match the man with the cell phone, confirming that this in fact was not himself and that this absolutely is Justin Wells. And that whole you want lightning to strike Erica Kirk thing, you do know it's your girl Candy that doesn't understand how thunder and lightning works, right?
I was walking with my husband, and it was thundering, I think. And I was like, oh, no big deal. We can keep walking because there's no lightning. And he was like, what do you mean by that? And I said, like, it's just thunder. Lightning is the problem. And then my husband was like, you know that it can't thunder without lightning, right? That thunder is the sound of lightning. My mind was completely blown. I promise you, in my 35 years of living, I had never heard that.
Ugh, yikes.
Heard that.
Ugh, yikes. Yikes. That's the woman that y'all are hanging on her every word, but Christine and Lyle just so happen to be live giving their commentary and breakdown of the situation of Erica being seen leaving the assassination attempt at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night, and instead of showing even an ounce of compassion or sympathy or anything, no, they go right into being the most vile, evil demons you've ever seen. And Christine actually posted this to her TikTok because she's proud of it.
Erica Kirk had a breakdown when this happened. Everybody's considering Erica Kirk had a breakdown when this happened, Christine. Erica Kirk had a get your roadie fuzz thing. You're going to be going for this one.
So somehow, to be clear, Erica Kirk is going to make this about her. Is that what I'm picking up here? That's how good she is. She's going to make this thing about her.
She says, so Erica Kirk is going to make this about her. Yes, Christine, because as she is physically running out of the building in terror, she's sitting there thinking about how the media is going to make this about her and how she's going to be the one spotlighted out of this. Like, absolutely disgusting. Now, we know that you, the Candy Colt's going to absolutely make this about her because you're obsessed with her and you won't stop talking about her and nitpicking her every move. So I would say that it's you who's going to make this all about her.
You ready? What? She was rushed. Erica Kirk was rushed from the building with Kash Patel. She broke down. Now listen, with all due respect, wait a minute, gunshots, I'm going to give her a little bit of leeway here, I'm just saying, see, with anybody else.
I'll be back up, because I'm like, well, she didn't hear the first one.
Yeah, right.
She wasn't there for the first one.
Yeah,
she hasn't watched the video.
See, I'm trying. See, Christine,
Let me go back up. Let me be that. Don't try to rein this in, honey. Just go with it. Let me be the voice of the knee-jerk kind of reaction of people who have just kind of had it.
Let me go bad cop. She is telling you right there, her knee-jerk reaction is to be vile and to mock and humiliate this woman and to immediately say that it's not real because she has no humanity left. And then to also sit there and talk about how she didn't watch the video of her husband dying. Yeah, we're going to mock that. We're going to laugh at her about that. Well, she didn't watch the first one, so she can't even have any level of trauma or fear here. That can't be happening. She can't have that response because she didn't watch the video. So because she didn't watch the video, it must be fake. She's not really feeling or having these things happen. Just absolutely delusional. So 2 of the most vile candy snakes, Christine and Lyle, just so happen to be live giving their commentary and breakdown of the situation of Erica. You don't rent venues and lease them of that size just on a whim, baby. Like that's not how this works, okay? These things have to be planned and organized and signed off on months in advance. So Charlie absolutely was involved in organizing and planning this event before he died. And they are supporting and encouraging their daughter-in-law. They have an amazing relationship with Erica. They see her and her children regularly. This fantasy that you've created in your head that they have a terrible relationship is just simply that, a fantasy. I have sources within Turning Point who confirmed that information and were able to factually state that they absolutely were there.
Made myself available for discussion. This last time I asked if she wanted wanted to FaceTime. Did she want to be on my podcast? She could have a conversation about it. But no, this is what she likes to do because apparently it serves her better.
And as for this idea that you've invited me for a FaceTime call or to be on your podcast or to have an in-person discussion, I have never received that invite from you. So I've never even seen a video response from you, ever. This is the first one that I've ever seen. I've never received a DM from you. I've never received anything with that invite because I absolutely would take you up on that. I have no problem talking to those on the other side of the aisle who disagree with me. I've gone on many people's podcasts who are on your side of the aisle and disagree with me. So yeah, if you are down for that, I am absolutely down for that. But I don't appreciate you lying on my name, saying that I would just rather make videos towards you and not have a true conversation when that invitation has never been extended.
If you know of an account that is specifically targeting Erica Kirk with massive hate videos, misinformation videos, all of that, I want you to be in my DMs. I want you to send me their information because I'm going to deep dive and expose their accounts. First up on the roster is Christine Knapp Fichetti. I think I'm saying that right. Anyway, she is a very left-leaning, anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, anti-conservative, anti-Christian commentator. She straight up tells you in the very first video that she ever made, the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, that she does not like him.
United States of America, the land of the free. We suffer from an epidemic of intolerance. To say I disagreed with Charlie Kirk would be an understatement of epic proportions, but what happened to him is beyond unacceptable.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment.
And right out of the gate, she immediately starts by spreading misinformation and twisting what Charlie had said about the Second Amendment and gun deaths that was trending at that time and continues to push that narrative.
But let's look at her views, shall we? Because I'm going to show you that Erica hate is extremely profitable. So this is the very first video, the one that I just showed you, where she was talking about the death of Charlie Kirk. She got 2,485 views. Here's the very first video she ever did, basically about Tyler Robinson. He had just been caught by the police. We're looking at 1,937 views. She also doesn't have very many followers at all at this time. And then just a few days later, she posts this video talking about how Charlie met Erica and that it was weird and strange and sus and all of that. And looky there, immediately spikes up to 1 million views. She realizes this Erica Kirk thing is extremely profitable. And as you can see on her page, it has been nonstop Erica and Charlie Kirk conspiracy content ever since. She realized that that was a cash cow, and she has made multiple videos on that topic every week ever since, and it has not stopped. Her account and her views have tripled since then, which leads me to showing you just how scuzzy and gross these individuals are. So, she, for months, has been plastering videos everywhere that Erica wasn't really pregnant. These children are fake. They're actors. She hid her pregnancy. It's a conspiracy. Did she really carry these children? All of the things. These are just a few of the examples of her Erica pregnancy child content. Erica Kirk hides her pregnancy. 128.8 thousand views. Here's another one. Video of Erica Kirk pregnant. 1.4 million views. Here's another one. No one saw Erica Kirk pregnant. Here's why. 60.4 thousand views. And after all those views, all of that money, all of this misinformation being put out there to fuel the lie and the conspiracy that Erica and Charlie's children don't exist, for her to post this video today.
Why do I believe Erica and Kirk? Why do I believe that Erica and Charlie Kirk actually have children, that these two children do exist? Because I don't think Charlie would lie about having kids. Erica, on the other hand, as we've seen, lies like she breathes. Like she has it down to an art form, but not like a Monet. More like a Picasso that's kind of like twisted. Eyeball and face. Somebody whose brother was a priest, and after Charlie died, the priest felt like he could share about how close Charlie was to converting to Catholicism and how he would come to church with the kids, and so specifically mention the kids. Think about how much information has been leaked from the Turning Point office. They don't really seem to like her nor respect her. If this were a lie she was propagating, somebody would say something. Also, I think Candace Owens would have said it by now. Those are solid enough reasons, I think, in and of themselves. But the question remains, why did she hide out when she was pregnant? I think for nothing more than her vanity. In her interview with Megyn Kelly, she said that she was joking with Charlie that she was going to weigh more than he did, that she got to eat what she wanted and could tell Charlie to just go get her a milkshake, and how he wouldn't drink it because he was maintaining his health. In-N-Out burgers. There's something very specific that backs up this vanity observation I've made, which I don't think is a stretch for anybody. It's the fact that she has used the same picture for her promotions for almost 10 years. Even the memorial, the event of the century, as she called it, upcoming engagements. Any promotion you've seen for an interview or for an event, this is the picture. It was taken when she worked at that Cochrane group, the real estate group out of New York City.
The absolute lack of integrity from these individuals to spin a narrative, push it until they can collect every dime that they can, and then immediately flip it back around so that it becomes profitable again. These people are sick, they are disgusting, and I'm going to continue exposing them. If you know of any more accounts similar to this one, put it in my DMs. We're going to be deep diving and exposing these individuals for the massive grifters and disgusting individuals that they are.